Let me introduce you to the Ravenshead u3a family history group. Before lockdown, we were meeting once a month, and for quite a lot of the time we had our laptops available, used the Wi-Fi in the village hall, and we're doing a lot of our own research and helping each other with it. Barbara has been running the group, and she's an absolute whiz at helping everyone. She knows so much about family history and where to look for what and all the resources and so on. Occasionally we would have a topic or a theme for a meeting where we would discuss an aspect of family history, you know, agricultural labourers in the family or something like that, bring in photographs, and talk a little bit about our own research. Obviously in March that changed dramatically, and on the 18th of March Barbara suggested to me that I start a newsletter for the group, just to try and keep everybody together, keep them in touch, keep them interested, and hopefully get a little bit of two-way interaction between members. While I was mulling that over, I suddenly thought about the idea of having a Facebook group. And although not all of our members belong to Facebook, we just felt that it was a way that was more immediate of those members who were interested, even if it was only a few of them, to keep in touch. So I started that on the 23rd of March. It has the odd thing on it, not a lot, but enough, I think, probably. And then, hey presto, 31st of March, the first newsletter came out, and it was also on that date that Barbara suggested to me that I became a joint leader because I was doing so much with the newsletter and so on. I started to do it every 2 weeks. I was beginning to run out of family history, and although some members have contributed, it is quite a big effort to keep things going. It's now every 3 weeks, and I love getting articles from people, or even just a few facts that I can put something together for them. So that's where we're going, and I thought you might like to hear the 14th of December newsletter which went out. Usually the format is we have an article, and then after that a section on online resources or questions and answers sometimes that members have sent in. This was a shorter letter which didn't have any useful online resources, so I'll just read you the article that I wrote. What to write about? Now that is the question. I wondered whether something Christmassy might come to mind, but I have no record of pre-20th century Christmas celebrations, nor startling Christmas events to build an article on. Even a trawl through documents revealed nothing obvious, but then Tony, my husband, reminded me that my own memories of Christmas are part of my family history, so here goes. I was brought up in my grandmother's early 1900s house with no central heating. Winter memories include frost on the inside of my bedroom window in the mornings and a coal fire in my bedroom as a treat if I was ill. I don't remember anything particular about Christmas with my live-in grandmother, but do have this photograph of me taken in the mid-1950s with my beloved Teddy, a Christmas present from Uncle Pep, actually a colleague of my father, Ralph Pepperell. I still have Teddy, in need of a new nose and a mouth, but still recognisable. The Christmas tree was always put up in the front room, but was never decorated until after my birthday, the only way of keeping the two celebrations as two distinct events. I can remember making paper chains to decorate that room and the delicate tree decorations that came out year after year. Dad made a new gold star for the top of the tree almost yearly. On the sideboard was a replica of the Laocoon statue, and that's another story, which was always festooned with tinsel and baubles, the latter arranged in strategic places. Christmas cards covered all surfaces. I loved it when the post arrived, as in those days the Christmas post was delivered by one of the several student friends of the family who always came in for a hot drink and a defrost before venturing out again. Some presents I remember distinctly: a cot for my doll one year, an artist's easel another, a doll's house. My sister, 6 years younger, also received presents over the years. I remember asking my father why all these original, handmade wooden pieces were painted in the same light blue paint, to which my father replied that Santa must have a lot of that colour paint. In a way, that was true. The year that I was informed that Santa didn't exist, I shall never forget. It was the children of my other grandmother's neighbours who told me when we were playing in Grandma's garden one autumn. I must have been only 5 or 6 years of age. The best thing was that I didn't believe them. When I told my grandma what they'd said, she supported my disbelief in their tale, explaining that it was because they didn't believe in Father Christmas that he didn't come to them. So I went on happily for a few years longer. Even when I did know, I didn't let on. In fact, I had to keep the secret for many years, as my younger sister is 12 years my junior. Talking of Santa, who remembers visiting him in his grotto, at a Christmas fair, or in a department store? The best in our area was in Lewis's in Birmingham, and everyone I knew went. The photo shows me and my sister taken in about 1962. Sandra obviously wasn't too happy about it. We loved Birmingham Christmas, as the two big department stores, Lewis's and Rackham's, always had the most amazing decorations. Christmas Day was spent at home and Boxing Day at my mum's sister's house. Auntie Audrey prepared a full sit-down Christmas lunch for all the immediate family, so there were at least 19 of us, and sometimes 25 or more. And by supper time, when the neighbours and a few more relatives had arrived, there must have been 30 plus. It was a day of contrast from the quiet but lovely previous day, as most of my cousins were very rumbustious and, to be honest, terrified me with their games and hijinks. In 1966, we moved 5 miles closer to Birmingham, to a new build house with warm air central heating. I so missed the old house, with the field next door, the big garden, and the shops just up the road. But the new house was light, airy, and warm. There was an alcove in the hall, and Dad always created a nativity scene in it. His gold star expertise came once more to the fore. The nativity became a streetly tradition, continued for almost 40 years. The most magical Christmas ever was that of 1968, when Danish friends came to stay. Our whole family had to sleep in one room to make way for the 5 visitors. When we went downstairs on Christmas morning, we found a trail of cotton wool snow footprints made by a line of penguins right across the hall. They led to a tin drum embedded in snow and guarded by painted wooden Danish soldiers, the tin drum spilling over with Danish Christmas treats. There were cute Bornholm pottery bears in the living room and a beautiful pair of blue and white Bornholm angels candlesticks. The daughter of the family had embroidered clock strings, a little larger than a bookmark, with a hanging device at the top and weighted at the bottom for each of us. The surprises just kept coming. Never mind hygge, the Danes certainly know how to create a magical Christmas. The more I write, the more I remember, but I've written more than enough. All I need to do now is to wish you a very happy and safe New Year. So that's an example of the newsletter. It's probably a bit different from the usual because it's my memories rather than facts about the family going back and so on. But we've done all sorts of things, public houses run by ancestors, holidays, weddings. We looked at fashions through the ages with photographs from members and so on. Hopefully it won't be too long before we can start meeting again, and when we do, it'll be on the fourth Tuesday of the month in the Brammer room from 10 till 12. Meanwhile, if there's enough interest, then maybe we might try a Zoom meeting. We'll see. Thank you. And here's the guest on the show today. This is Teddy, who is now, dare I say this, I think about 64 years old.